Yes, let's all be careful. Superman?
I see. Super friends, there's no time to lose.
That is true, but Batman has a good retort.
What now?
Now we're going to record the podcast. Okay. Hi, this is the Comic Conspiracy Podcast, episode number 88 for the week of December, 17th, 2012, almost to the end of the year. Having a little fun with some gifts given to us by Lane. You may remember him. He's been on a couple episodes. He's sitting on from the background. We're playing with our awesome Fisher-Price DC Super Friends. I've got Aquaman with a robot shark, so I win. But there's Tox, so maybe they're a little bit better. I don't know. Apparently there's a Larfleeze baby toy, which is like, Larfleeze, good lord. All right, anyway, I'm Ryan Higgins. Who else is here with us this week?
Brock Sager.
Omar.
Toby.
And Charlie.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Lane. Thank you for...
Lane.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
These are awesome.
Hawkman and a Flash.
Let me see it. Oh, that's cool, dude. Look at it. I got a fucking Green Lantern with a
That's pretty
canning
badass.
construct.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I think you got
Sick.
the best one.
And yeah, it's cool because these little ones have the little urban stees. They're
Yes,
almost
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of like, what are those little pieces?
Vinyl toys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are pretty
Yeah, I've
sweet.
been collecting that line of figures for my kids, so I have all sorts of them now.
Man, when I was a baby, what I wouldn't have... Well, I probably wouldn't have cared, but what I wouldn't have given for an adult man to be in a baby's body and have a DC Super Friends Aquaman figure. How awesome is that? So good.
Are you going to take a bath with it?
Maybe. I might with a robot shark and be like...
It might start showering with me.
Yes, it is almost that wonderful time of year called Christmas. Very quiet news front. Not a ton to talk about, although a couple things happened last week. We've got a ton of questions online here. A few of them in general response to a few things that happened during the week, so it's perfect because I don't know.
It's a fly by the seat of our pants episode.
Yeah, quiet week, not a lot to talk about, but we always find a way.
Isn't Lucius Fox just genius, though?
Lucius Fox?
Lucius Fox, how
From
he just
Batman?
Morgan Freeman, how he just shuts everybody up by saying it's the news fault and shit.
Yeah, actually, he came out saying that wasn't him.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Like today?
Was that a good source?
I don't know. I don't believe anything
I saw that.
anymore.
Yeah, I saw that shit retweeted thousands of times.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Remember what Gandalf says. Use the Force, Harry. All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't matter who said it. I mean, there's some good stuff in there. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. We got one here. We're going to start it off. This is from Davo Splat on Twitter, who doesn't really ask a question, but he says, I'm sure you will do so, but lots of discussion about the Man of Steel trailer, please. So let's start off with the Man of Steel trailer.
Super friends, Lex Luthor is behind this.
I had a feeling Lex Luthor was going to be the main bad guy, despite everything being Zod and Feora. But I'm sure there will be a Luthor cameo. Superman, thank you for your stunning input. So, Man of Steel trailer. Who saw the official big... It happened right after we finished recording last week. It was the next morning it went up.
But it's no comparison to watching it on the big screen, right?
No, of
and
course.
the sound and fucking...
Oh, I didn't see...
the gravitas.
I went to see Hobbit. No Superman trailer.
Are you kidding me?
No Star Trek trailer.
Yeah, but
What?
You
But I
fail.
knew that
Yeah,
because you
that
went to
sucks
watch
for
the
you.
regular screening.
No, some places got them. Not like the 10-minute Star Trek thing.
But
just
it's not guaranteed in a regular
No,
screening.
of course not. Of course
Yeah.
not. But yeah, oh man. I've seen that Superman trailer a handful of times now, and I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. It looks amazing.
I think it's some people are like, oh, it's dark Superman. Oh, and look, no one's smiling. It's like, yeah, but come on, we've done the happy Superman thing 4 movies in a row. This is kind of Nolan's Superman.
Sure.
It's definitely going to be darker. And that's fine. It doesn't have to be all happy and sunny, and it doesn't have to be all dark either. There may be other fun stuff in it. We don't know. This is one trailer.
I didn't consider it that dark. I mean, it had some dark overtones to it, especially the conversation with Pa Kent. But, I mean, overall, there's that line where he was talking to Lois, doing the whole thing of, my father always said I should, well, what do you think? And, I mean, to me, it just kind of shows that he's more hopeful for humanity than... he has more faith in humanity than the humans around him seem to, which is...
If it was Superman standing on Mount Rushmore waving the American flag and the John Williams music was playing, everyone would be like, oh, here we go again. Like, that's not what audiences want these days.
You and I talked about it when we first saw it last week.
I still want the John Williams soundtrack.
Well, that's debatable.
And we both said that it's the realistic feel, especially that Nolan brought to Batman, that it's bleeding into this Man of Steel movie. So I think that we're going to be getting, that realism in there, and that realism isn't necessarily dark, it's just reality.
Well,
So.
I think people fail to remember that Clark Kent is a persona put on by Kal-El, and there's nothing that says he can't be a happier guy, but clearly, and this is not a spoiler because I don't know anything about the movie, but it's pretty obvious that both Ma and Pa Kent are dead when he goes to Metropolis. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's clearly they're going with the pre-crisis origin, and that's why they're doing that in Action Comics now, where both his parents are dead. To me, that seems like a fairly obvious reason why he'd be out there in the world exploring. What was it, Secret Origin? Not Secret Origin. What was the Mark
Secret
Waid?
Origin was good, though.
Yeah, what was the Mark Waid mini?
Yeah.
Birthright, right. A lot of people said Birthright was kind of influential in the movie, and I can kind of see that a little bit. So,
I like Birthright. That's good.
Yeah, Birthright's great.
I mean, the mainstream audience, they're going to obviously think of Superman Returns. I don't think that was like a super bright...
It wasn't.
Movie.
They wanted it to be.
But it was
wasn't.
darker, too, in the costume and the hues, and just reflective of the times. And I think that, just the feel of it and seeing the things that they're doing on the screen to show his power and his abilities, oh man, it's just mind blowing.
I saw some people that said, "Oh, Superman's flight is destructive," and that goes against Superman. And I don't know. That seems weirdly nitpicky to me.
In the
They went
trailer?
with the Smallville flight, the whole...
Why is it destructive?
Well, because when he leans on the ground, he's building up pressure, and you kind of see the ground cracking, and then he shoots up in the air, and the ground just goes and cracks. But again, that could just be first time using his powers. He doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know. People get so nitpicky over this stuff. I think it looks pretty amazing in the second half of the trailer. That's all the big fight scenes and special effects and all that. That looks incredible.
Yes.
So, even if the first half is a little, navel gazing and sort of darker and depressing.
Superman here. There's a problem at City Hall.
There always is a problem at City Hall, and it's because of Zod and Feora, and I'm sure Superman will beat them. Anyone else? No? Superman trailer?
Midnight showing?
Yeah, definitely yes, but I'm also wondering about renting out a theater for that. Because next year is our 20th anniversary at the store.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm trying to set up a few events and things like that. So
Cool.
We might do something. We'll see.
That would be cool.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's just go down a little. Well, since we're talking about comic book movies here, I got one from Jason Carping About on Twitter. He asks, comic book movies you're all most excited to see in 2013. So the list right now stands at Man of Steel, Iron Man 3, Thor 2, The Dark World, The Wolverine. Apparently that's coming in next year. Is that confirmed?
It said July 2013.
Is it July?
At least the teaser posters.
Well,
that
they've
are
been
up.
filming.
Yeah. I thought maybe end of the year. I'll be surprised if that comes out next year, but okay, that's cool. Same city. Sin City is listed for next year. That's not happening.
Sin City will probably be late in the year because they shoot that on green screen.
Well, they haven't even started. That movie's not coming, is it?
Shooting that's not going to take very long. And the
But
style
Rodriguez can finish a movie and shoot in a month.
Well,
he'll make his own music too. He'll hold on, let me shoot this thing. Let me do some music, and I'm done. Here.
Yeah.
It didn't take him that long to shoot the first one.
No, not at all.
So
well, we'll see. If that comes out, Kick-Ass 2. My personal favorite, according to IMDb's list of superhero movies coming out next year, is the Adam Strange movie.
What?
Which
sure.
This must be an IMDb, just IMDb.
Sure.
Yeah, being IMDb and not always accurate. So I'm personally excited for the Adam Strange movie. Fuck the rest of them. I'm curious. Huh?
It'll probably be a cartoon.
No, it's nothing. It's probably a fan film or something retarded. So we'll see.
That or it's not even anything.
No, I'm sure it's
fan
nothing.
just posted that shit.
Yeah, I'm sure it's nothing.
Maybe it's Tom Cruise's next trilogy.
I could see that.
Well, who knows? Well, I mean, but all of those. Is there any that we're not looking forward to? No, we're all looking forward to all of them because Kick-Ass doesn't count. Forget that movie.
Which one aren't we looking forward to?
Forget that movie.
If you want to go into which ones I'm looking forward to the most, for me, it's definitely Man of Steel and Thor 2.
Yeah,
those are the two I'm primarily looking forward to.
Yeah.
I'm interested in all of them. Wolverine being bottom in that list. If it's great, cool. If it's not, I don't know if I'm done.
I don't think they're gonna fuck this one up because they really fucked up the last one so badly.
The last two,
The
X-Men Origins. Wolverine Origins. That was shitty.
X-Men Origin and X-Men 3 were bad. Now, if they're, I mean, maybe they can get some of the people behind First Class involved and be like, let's kind of class us up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
hey, that was an awesome cameo for Wolverine in that.
Yeah.
I was better than the entire Wolverine movie combined.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I mean, Man of Steel, clearly. The rest, Iron Man maybe a little over Thor, but I just haven't seen much on Thor yet. So I haven't seen anything. I don't know the plot. I don't know anything.
Some of the pictures look badass, though.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
we talked about the Force and Malekith, right?
Yeah, some of the set pictures look freaking off. Though. Like really freaking cool.
Eccleston to play the
Dark Elf.
Yeah, the main Dark Elf bad guy. Which
Malekith.
I can't.
So there's a lot.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. But
a lot of BBC guys running around being evil guys in movies.
That's awesome because I know Iron Man is the extremist armor stuff, a take on it. Yeah. But yeah, Thor, I know nothing about. I haven't read one plot point about it, so it's going to be mostly Asgard. That's what it sounds like.
That's what it looks like.
Because that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So I hope.
Maybe we'll finally see the Gauntlet.
I'll be curious to see what they do in their movies leading up to the next Avengers.
See what we're doing in Phase 2.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll tease something big at the end of Iron Man, because I think that would be the place you would want to start that.
Well, I'm sure they're not going to not tease something. It's just a question of the previous phase. All kind of were while leading into Avengers and everything.
Yeah.
It was very sort of focused on leading into the next movie towards the end with sort of like finding Thor's hammer, and it just seemed to be more sort of starting to lean towards we're going to sort of do the little Cap stuff here. We're going to do the next Thor stuff here just to kind of do the next movie we're doing is blank.
Well, supposedly Nick Fury is not showing up till Cap. So it's going to be interesting what they're doing in between them. Actually, I would like to see Iron Man without anything in it.
Yeah.
Kind of leave it on its own, breathe a little life on its own.
But the little bit we've seen in the trailers and stuff looks all terroristy, and how can you not have S.H.I.E.L.D. in a terroristy...
It's what I hear, or what I read, but you can't ever trust
you can
everything
have
on the
S.H.I.E.L.D.
internet.
without Nick Fury. I'm just saying that I can't see you not having S.H.I.E.L.D. if it's a big global terrorist
Coulson
threat.
is back. No, I'm kidding.
Have they confirmed S.H.I.E.L.D. for fall 2013?
They confirmed the pilot.
The pilot for fall 2013?
So what does that usually mean?
I believe so, yeah.
It means if the pilot does well, then he can continue working.
They'll shoot the pilot, and then...
I'm pretty sure it's just going to get picked up even before the pilot.
Yeah. Obviously, ABC and Disney have thrown a lot behind this because it ties in with the movies. I mean, they'd be stupid not to. So,
what was that dumb movie or show that replaced Desperate Housewives? They have a time slot for it.
Huh?
No?
I have no clue what replaced.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Desperate Housewives on Sunday nights, like ABC always ran Desperate Housewives.
I don't want S.H.I.E.L.D. on Sunday night. I want S.H.I.E.L.D. on like Tuesday night.
It could be any night it wants to.
No, I don't want it on Friday. I don't want it on Sunday.
Well, those are kind of death nights for a lot of shows anyway. But
I want it paired up with Person of Interest.
That would be nice.
I'd go for that one.
It could be paired up with my TiVo, because that's all I care about. Josh Rios, how about that? On Twitter
Somebody
asks...
needs to mix together all of your fucked up Twitter names.
Josh asks, me and my friends had a discussion today on our tiers for various superheroes. What are your tiers for superheroes?
Like tears and crying for him?
No, tier, like T-I-E-R.
Oh.
Like how, like, what's your ranking for...
Like, if you were going to put them in a senior photo, how would you have them, like... Who would be at the top and who would be at the front?
It's easy. All the girls on top. Everything else not in the picture.
There you go.
There you go. Superman, Batman, number one. All right, they are the first two.
We do lists. We do like A list, B list.
Well, that's what I mean. A list is Superman and Batman. They are the ones that started everything. They are everyone can go back to Superman or Batman in some fashion. Throw Robin in there if you want a third.
Yeah,
she predates all of them.
I think they're looking more for a list of who do we consider like the top tier for our personal.
Oh, either way, Superman and Batman are number one.
Come on, pick
I
one.
don't think so.
What?
Superman is in your top tier just because historically he's this important figure in your life. Like
Superman and Batman are the two most important superheroes. All other superheroes.
But pick one. Who is like your top spot?
Well, that's why it's tier. It's these aren't my favorite characters.
Wait. But is the guy asking for your favorites or just tier?
What are your tiers for superheroes? That is the entire question.
Like, Ryan
It's
is saying,
easy. It's
Okay.
called Young
Top
Justice.
So
fucking sick.
I guess just send us a clear explanation if you want us to group them or rank them.
Okay, we'll go back to that, Josh. Do you want like our 1, 2, 3, 4 ranking? Do you want our A list? Here's all the A list characters, all the B list characters. Because
That's too much work.
we'll go back and
That's
do that either
almost
way.
That's another list.
Well, the
I like lists,
first
too.
couple tiers are pretty easy.
Everyone loves lists.
But then Brock and I will fight about who is better, if it's the Young Justice or his Outsiders. And then Charlie will throw in some rings and
Well, that's, okay. Well, I'll do this easy. The
I can do it with physical plastic rings at all of you.
the A list.
I have a Fisher Price Hawkman with a mace, and I have a Flash that I can.
The A list
Fight.
will always be the first heroes or the best selling. That's always the way it's going to be.
But now, danger at the warehouse.
No, there's no danger at the warehouse, Batman. We're discussing a list of superheroes. So you could throw Wolverine in the top tier, even though he wasn't one of the original ones, because he's a popular character.
I think top tier is top tier in the sense of popularity.
But I would never consider Iron Man a top tier character. Despite the success of the movie,
Even now?
despite the success of the movie in the comic book world, Iron Man he may be a main character in the Marvel universe, but he has never been a top
All
tier.
right, fine. Let's do Marvel.
Green Lantern clearly
he's the
became a
Wonder Woman
top
of the-
tier.
No,
Tier.
all right.
Marvel universe?
Let's do Marvel. It's Captain America, Spider-Man, maybe Wolverine, maybe.
Would you really put like for me? It all starts with Spider-Man in the
Yeah.
Marvel universe. He's like in a tier.
But
all
Captain
his own.
America's
No.
so.
Fantastic Four
Yep, Fantastic Four.
is number one. Yes.
If depends on how you're ranking it.
Let Josh,
Because in
give-
terms of
this
stopping
is your
somebody on the
conversation.
street and going, "Who's this?" I have a feeling more people would be able to tell you who Spider-Man is.
Josh, write us back and confirm what order you want this list in, and then
No.
we'll get back to you.
This
next
is
week.
this is a serious like academic conversation here because we have sometimes because I work at a university and we deal with these kind of meetings where we have to first define all of like what we're discussing.
What's more important?
Yeah,
than
what
the
are
rest?
the definitions? What are the what
What
is
building
it?
to save?
Yeah, so we're talking about the same thing, and we understand.
Categories.
Yes. So
Tiers.
sorry, Josh.
Yeah, just write us back and we'll get a little more.
There's a
clear
bunch
there.
of listeners at this point, man. These guys are
That's a whole different
idiots.
story. HeroClix should be a whole other podcast. We should definitely do that sometime.
Just start your own.
All right, here's one.
Record
from,
on Friday after you're done.
Yeah, right.
Here's one from Stefano, who's written us a number of times. He says, and this is actually great follow-up to the Gail Simone stuff from a few weeks ago. It says, do readers put too much stock into heroes on books and not enough into creators? Does blind hero loyalty hurt book quality?
Yes.
That's a big question.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm very known to buy whatever books if people like on it.
Creators
Whether-
or characters?
Both.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I have books I buy for the characters, and I'll blindly buy it without the book even being good, and then I end up with a bunch of trash books at home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well-
think... go ahead, Charlie.
I was going to say, historically, definitely it's hurt just because, and even on television and everything, it's all, people watch this as Batman. And same thing with people read this as Batman, so they didn't really care who they put on that book because they realized it would sell anyways.
But if you
Nowadays, though.
But if you look at sales of Batman 5 years ago, it was not selling, the 125,000 copies.
That's the difference between historically, I think it has hurt. I think currently they are getting much more emphasis on returning these characters back to a
Kind of a nice tier
yeah.
of.
Because I mean that seems to be a large part of what allowed Jeff Johns to rise through the ranks is being able to take a character like Green Lantern who wasn't selling and
move him up a couple of tiers.
And
this tier fingers keeps coming up.
Titans and
but Teen Titans, Green Lantern, Flash, those are all very clear B-list characters. You can easily move up to A-list, right? When you have a character like Booster Gold, or you have a character, let's say, Spider-Woman with Brian Michael Bendis, or Moon Knight, clearly C-list characters, you're never going to get 100,000 copies sold of a Booster Gold series. I don't care who's writing it or drawing it.
Did get a huge jump.
But Grant Morrison and Jim Lee did Wildcats, and it still sold like 40,000 copies. If Jim Lee and Grant Morrison wrote Superman, it'd get 150,000 copies sold.
Now, my curiosity on stuff like that just has to do with, so it sold that many copies and stuff, but it only came out with one issue.
And I think that was the sales in the first issue.
Well, but my point basically is a lot of that stuff takes a little time to really pick up to the.
That was the highest it was ever going to go. Something like that, Jeff Johns is never going to sell 100,000 copies of Booster Gold. It doesn't matter.
I agree with you on that. He will never sell the numbers that he could sell on something like Superman.
Yeah.
But I still agree with Brock that he can sell a lot more copies of Booster Gold than putting somebody else on the title.
But I think the problem comes in when you're paying your Brian Michael Bendis or your Jeff Johns big bucks. It is not financially responsible to put them on a Moon Knight book because Moon Knight's never going to sell no matter who's on the book.
Yeah, and
you can have him doing 4 Avengers books, making you up $10 million a month, right?
If you have a writer on contract, you can make him write whatever the fuck you want him to write, whether or not it's a C-list character, D-list, A-list, B-list, whatever. You can make him write whatever you want.
Not necessary.
So, how do you explain Aquaman?
Aquaman, despite what I think most people would say, Aquaman is a clear B-list character. He's a character.
I think C.
Aquaman is a character that everyone knows. Booster Gold.
Everybody knows to make
Booster
fun
Gold's
of.
like a D-list.
Yeah.
Booster Gold and
he's like an F list.
And Booster Gold and Spider-Woman and Moon Knight are not household names. Aquaman is a household name despite anything. And getting a Jeff Johns. It's a combination of Jeff Johns, it's a combination of the artist, and it's a combination of being part of the relaunch. Because we still sold, 100 copies of like Hawk and Dove #1, despite selling, 6 copies of #4. Everyone was willing to check those out. And the one, if we got 100 people to read the first issue of Booster Gold, 95 of them may have kept reading them. And if they happened with something like New 52, then it may have happened. But when you just launch, a series out in the wild, it's very difficult. Now, you get the big creators coming in with the Marvel Now stuff. Clearly, Deadpool selling way more now because it's part of this relaunch, where if they relaunched it cold, it wouldn't have got the sales.
Because it's funny as fuck. It's hilarious, even though you hate it.
I do.
Well,
I don't hate it.
Back to the original question: is it blind, character, faith or love that drives people to buy these books and stuff like that?
Well, for me, there are a lot of characters I will buy almost regardless, and there are a lot of creators I will buy almost regardless. However, it's funny that it's not that a bad creative team, or it's not that a good creative team in good books, whether or not I'll buy, it's when you have a bad creative team or bad characters. I don't really care, if guys like Rob Liefeld are coming onto a book, I drop Deathstroke for a handful of issues, and I jump right back on when he came off. I'm not going to buy that book regardless. If he's on Batman, that's a tough one. I suffered through 2 issues of Teen Titans. All right, but if they announce tomorrow the ongoing creative team was someone just terrible, then no, done. Right? I love Green Arrow, but I couldn't deal with the new series. It was so bad.
Yeah.
So I dropped it.
Yeah.
But if you have even a mediocre creative team on a character I like, I'll buy it. But the second it goes bad, there's no way in hell. I will probably buy everything Jeff Johns does, but if they put him in like a Gen 13 book, I probably wouldn't buy it.
The hell is
Would you
wrong
at
with
least look at the first issue?
I'd read it, but I wouldn't buy it. I have beyond no interest in most of the Wildstorm universe. Sorry, Toby.
I hate you.
That's okay. I just don't. They're just not.
Kick you in the ass when
they're
you
just
don't
not.
look.
Well, like he did a story in this Ghosts anthology that came out right from DC.
It really wasn't that good.
Well, I was just like, it's just I have no interest in this. Like the old owner of the store, Ken, was in earlier today, and he was talking to me about some stuff, and there was some
Well, that has something to do with it.
Well, there was some Neil Gaiman book that was just some random Neil Gaiman comic he wrote way back in the day, and he's like, "Oh, don't you have this?" I'm like, "No, I don't care. I love Neil Gaiman, but I don't. This is nothing. I don't care about this.
Every single thing he
right.
wrote.
I don't need everything that everyone's ever done. Yeah, it just when it's on the material I like and the books I like, then So it'd be really hard to get me to not buy a Batman book. They'd have to really try to put a shitty ass creative team to get me to not buy Batman.
Let me guess.
But it could happen.
That'd be a Marvel move.
But it could happen.
Mark Millar writing.
Oh, I wouldn't buy it.
Oh God, no.
Wouldn't buy it.
And
wouldn't buy it.
A live field drawing.
Yeah, no. I mean, I wouldn't buy it
on Batman.
I wouldn't buy it with the first one alone. So
it's like just a combination of things. I think going between like the creative team and the branding of the book. Phantom Stranger, totally cool concept. Tied into the new Trinity or whatever they're calling it, and the first two books were great. And then Dan Didio, like he started like just showing too much like repetitive shit going on in book 3, and I'm gonna drop it and also Brett Anderson. That guy that like does the layouts, shit, it's crap. And then fucking they try to say embellishers with they put Tan on it just because Tan's like somewhat popular artist. Shit, you can't sell me shit. I'm sorry. $4 can go to this beer, Sierra Nevada Torpedo Extra IPA.
Was only $2.99.
Oh, okay. Well, still, this was $3.44.
Well, let's see. We got some more questions here. Let's flip it over to Marvel real quick. This comes from Julian Titus. Get a lot of questions from him. He asks, what is the point of relaunching Uncanny X-Men a year ago only to relaunch it again now? Surely they knew this was the plan. My answer, they had no idea this was not on the plan a year ago. Marvel Now was not on the books a year ago.
They were still thinking they were going to do Age of Ultron.
Yeah, they had this.
What are those Velcro balls that you throw on the target?
Exactly.
Little fuzz balls. Whatever.
Marvel decides this shit like months, like a month before previews comes out. Like this shit, they just throw shit.
I think they have like inspiration toilet paper where one day the publisher wipes his ass and goes, "Oh wait, we should do this."
Yeah, if they said they had planned the Marvel Now relaunching of books at all within the last 12 months, they are liars. They did this a few months ago. They saw the sales in the first 6 months of the first 2 months of DC, which is what like 13
September and October,
so 14 months ago.
Yeah,
and they said, so sure, about 10 months ago they started to kind of plan it, and maybe 6 months ago they got the creative teams firmed up. I mean, this was, but New 52 was not too different. I mean, this wasn't something they had planned for years and years and years. It's something comic companies can react on a dime. I mean, they can switch this stuff around. So no, there was no attempt to. This was not planned in any way. Sure.
Yeah, because if they did, they would have done Daredevil with it, and
exactly,
and they would have done
Gambit,
Captain Marvel,
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. They would have held on because even DC held on to Batwoman. They came out with that 0 issue for Batwoman,
but then they put it on.
They were like, "Whoa, no, we're doing this. We got to hold."
Yep.
Then they would have lost Wade because he wouldn't have won that fucking award, the Eisner.
Yeah,
and re-sparked his interest into just doing monthlies. He would have otherwise been gone the Straczynski route and just fucking said, "Nah, I'll just do scripts and trades." And
all right, we got a question here from Danny. He asks, how big are your comic collections?
Oh, I thought this was going elsewhere.
Numbers of long boxes, how many bookcases, and or number of single issues. Let's start with Brock. How big, Brock?
How big is it? Well, I purged, so I'm not going to count my eBay sale boxes. Do I count my binding boxes?
Whatever, man.
I'm going to count my binding boxes just because those are in process to go on the shelf. So each box is envisioned as like one shelf. So I think I'm probably like 26 long boxes. I was at like 30, but I purged a little bit and condensing down and stuff.
How many bookshelves?
One full bookshelf of trades and about 3.
That is standard IKEA Billy.
Standard IKEA
6,
Billy.
Yeah, 6. It's like one long box per shelf.
One long box, yeah. So I have one Billy bookcase of soft covers, and I have about 3 shelves of hardcovers. So, but that'll increase once I go up to the bindery to pick up my new stuff and take some more stuff in.
Omar,
probably not more than 6,000 comics. I regularly purge.
It's about 20 boxes.
Maybe a little more.
Okay.
Trades?
Right? You're not a trade guy, huh?
Not really.
Yeah. Do you own any?
I own some.
Okay, couple.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a lot.
Like maybe I don't know, 3 shelves.
Okay. Because I think, well, no, Brock, most of your trades, that's exclusively how you read those books, right?
Some of them, yes. Like Fables, To Get Caught Up, DMZ, Preacher, Sandman. Yeah, a lot of those are how I read.
You don't have the single issues of those.
I have this. I've gone back to the series that I really enjoy, and those are the ones that I'm like collecting.
Yeah. Toby, should we even ask you? Do you even know?
I have no idea.
Your stuff's all over the place. It's like
really
in 3
bad.
houses, and
Yeah, I move a lot.
Yeah.
Things get packed. Things disappear. Things are here at the store that Ryan tells me to take home, and
hey, if anyone wants 7 long boxes of toys and statues, we're going to throw them away. So you can come stand outside behind the door.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Also, I've been in far too much things over the years too. I mean, I got a ton of film books, got a ton of artwork, got a ton of toys, got a ton of everything I'm into. I have a ton of. It's really bad. Yeah, but I'm at a stage where I'm just ignoring it all, and eventually I'll get to it.
He's in denial.
Yeah,
If I just ignore it,
it doesn't exist. Yeah, I like to work on my projects at the moment and not think of it, and eventually I get to it.
Charlie.
So I think I have 5 bookshelves filled with trades and hardcovers.
Yeah,
He's
Charlie's the trade guy.
And I think I have 7 long boxes because I regularly purge through stuff. If I get it in trade or hardback, I just get rid of the singles.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're kind of the opposite of me. Well, I'll get to mine in a minute, but do you own anything in trade that you also own in single issues?
A couple of things, and primarily held on to it because of like an Alex Ross cover or something like that.
Okay.
That's
Charlie's
about it.
pretty good about like only having one of a thing though.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
with everything I realized, like he would have a statue. You buy a new statue he likes better. Generally, he lets go of that first one that it replaces. It's like, for him, there's a spot for a Superman statue. Something cooler comes along, well, too bad, old Superman statue. The new one will take its place. Actually,
That's exactly what I do. It's all if I like the new one better than I like the old one can go away, new one can be put out. If I don't, why am I buying the new one?
yeah, I'm trying to adapt that because for me, it's like the new one comes, cool, it'll just join the family. And a new one comes, ooh, cool, it just joins the family. Yeah.
I can't remember if I stacked my books 4 boxes high or 5. Like, I just did it, and I'm already...
You stack them 5 high.
I think it's 5.
You stack them 5 high.
Which adds quite a bit. So I think I'm at 60 long boxes right now.
60 long boxes.
Yeah,
Do you know how I know this?
Because you helped me move them.
Because I helped you move them twice.
No, I purged it a lot, so it clearly went down, but then went back up.
Purged a lot? You got a lot, too.
I know, but I also purchased a lot. So I got about 60 long boxes, but about 4 or 5 of those are for binding, and I do try to go through that stuff on a pretty regular basis. I have unfortunately, about half of that is shit I have. Well, no, about 20 of those boxes are collections of things I am in the process of collecting before I read them. It's like my full run of Avengers and Justice League and Flash and, random old stuff. So there's a lot of that that's Omar's got a question.
No question.
Oh, okay.
I'm just adjusting.
You're just in awe
Yeah, that's fucking
of my length.
crazy.
Trade-wise, see, I'm the exact opposite of Charlie. Clearly there's a few exceptions, but for the most part, every trade I own is something I own in single issue. Because
you collect trades for stuff that you enjoy, but it has to be something that's worthy of being collected, like a hardcover or
not even that. But it's exactly how I buy DVDs. It's stuff I've already seen that I know I like, that I want a permanent version of. My trade paperbacks are my go-to copies of stuff I really like. I don't buy everything that I buy in single issue and trade paperback. That'd be insane.
Except for New Warriors.
Well, but when you're Jeff Johns books, your Grant Morrison books, books like the New Warriors, that I will buy both of those omnibus covers when they come out because I'm
plus you had it bound already.
Totally insane. Plus my bound copies.
Yeah,
so some
and
of the
you
stuff
have your single issues on top of that too.
Sandman,
did you even rip out the ads on those?
I did, yeah. Okay. Sandman,
But how do you rip out the ads on some of the newer books? They do it purposely so that
the newer books you can't necessarily.
They're freaking annoying as hell. You're like
with the newer books, the paper and the quality is nicer, so you can literally still get a decent amount in a good size trade.
Yeah, Sandman, I own most of the absolutes. I actually need to finish getting the rest of them. I have most of the original hardcovers, and I will also be purchasing the newly announced Sandman omnibuses that are coming out.
But you have the slipcase over there.
But those are the soft covers.
Yeah, but it's a slipcase around the soft cover.
Yeah, but I've been trying to buy the hardcover versions when they come out, so I don't know like the weird hardcover, like those yellow.
Yeah, I saw those.
Those are ugly ones.
I'm weird with 100 Bullets. While I really, really enjoy the hardcovers, I like the trades because they're kind of titled for each trade. Like with the numbers, like 13 is Will Chamberlain, something like 7 to Samurai. So like you don't get that with the hardcovers because they collect like 2 or 3 of them, and I'm like, now I'm kind of torn.
I doubled up on the Preachers. Like I have the soft covers because that's how I read them. And
Yeah,
I loved them so much that I got the hardcovers. But there's something to say about getting the collection in softcover where you have this nice, like, this is the volume, this is the title of that volume. Whereas you get the hardcovers, it's like Preacher Book 1.
Yeah, 2,
So it's kind of
3, 4.
Yeah.
See, I don't mind that, especially on something like Preacher, because it is a finite series. You don't, like, yeah, it would be retarded to do a Batman Volume 1 hardcover because unless it was the Batman This Person's Run Volume 1...
You heard they're undoing the Superman omnibus as well. Just got announced.
I saw that.
Which is all
I'm
the
more
Golden Age
excited about the Morrison Animal Man. That looks great.
That'll be good
and
too.
the Azzarello Batman.
I'm friggin' doomed with all these omnibuses DC's coming out with. Oh boy, am I!
I know, because you're going to have to take them to get rebound.
However, I did actually just I purged all my Infinite Crisis soft covers except for the actual Infinite Crisis hardcover. I purged all the secondary side stuff because of the omnibus, and same with the Visibles. I purged all my soft covers on that because the omnibus is just so beautiful.
I need to get the Invisibles.
Yeah. All right.
Damn it! Stop taunting me, Ryan.
I know. It's bad. It's bad. I got a question from TPBJ. I'm assuming that's the peanut butter and jelly.
Oh.
Peanut butter jelly.
Yeah, I was thinking of something else.
This actually goes perfectly with the question we just asked. What is everyone's preferred comic book format? Singles, soft covers, hardcovers, oversized hardcovers?
Horrible questions.
Singles.
I'm a singles.
I'm everything. I'm horrible.
I'm singles. Even though I have a lot of trades, singles.
I'm even looking at the Hush, which has that rare comic book cover now, that retailer variant only. I'm like, okay, do I want it just so I have that cover? Even though I own the 2 little hardcovers, even though I own the Absolute Edition, even though I own the black and white version,
Quit being so stupid.
Even though I own every single issue of that run, yeah.
All right, I'm going to take a wild guess here, Charlie, and say your preferred reading style is hardcover.
Oversized hardcover.
Oversized and big.
You can't even start there because it's not even necessarily oversized hardcover. I'd go down to say that my preferred version is the library edition
Glossier,
that they've been putting up.
Glossier matte finish pages.
Matte, baby.
I think...
Depends on what I'm reading.
Well, what's mine?
A lot of cases.
Glossy is the 48 FPS of comic books.
What's mine, Ryan?
It makes good things look like shit. What?
What's my preferred reading?
I think trades.
Yeah, I like trades.
Yeah, I think you're a soft cover guy. Soft cover trades.
I like soft cover trades in matte. I don't like glossy.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the... Like, I know a couple books I read, like Six Gun is amazing, and it's a little glossy in the pages, and so is like Morning Glories. But when they're that glossy, it's not so bad. But when it's like the old style, like let's repaint or re-ink and stuff, those glossy pages make me want to.
That's why I say it depends on the material. The stuff that's originally done digitally looks fine to me on glossy paper. The stuff that didn't start out digitally, yeah, you can. It just always looks a little off or weird. So it takes me a while to get used to when I sit down to try and read it.
I'm thinking with Brock on the trades actually, because I mean I grew up with the whole manga thing, so I always liked the trade idea. But my problem with the trade is like when Ultimate Spider-Man was coming out, the typography on the side would change by like a couple of trades in, and that would annoy the fuck out of me. I'm like insanely like if you guys collected,
just look at No Man's Land.
Yeah, well, if you guys collected like the Daredevil hardcover, like I think Charlie knows, like Volume 2, the Marvel logo is like shorter than the other ones, and that annoys the fuck out of me. Like,
Did you know that Wildstorm and ABC are all now being printed with the Vertigo label?
Yeah, that will. Yeah,
all the new printings.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, you can get that stuff hella cheap, and binding it is pretty cool. So,
I was gonna say binding may be my favorite coming up soon. So I do like that format.
I would like trades if they were all even. The DC logos all... See, they should take a note from manga. I mean, all my numbering is the same. All my logos is the same.
New 52 trades. That's what they're doing. It's a standard family color code.
Till when?
I actually talked
Till
to...
when, though? Till when? That's my big question.
Hold
Till
on.
when?
You want to hear something crazy?
What?
So I talked to my rep at DC today, and I'll be curious if this is the way it actually happens. I think it
They're
might.
going to redo all the trades?
No, they said that I asked them, like, how are they going to collect something like the Court of Owls or things like the Culling crossover, let's say, which was Superboy, Teen Titans, and
Ravagers came out.
And Legion Lost was the other book. He said there's going to be a Culling trade paperback, and then each of those collections will have just their parts of the crossover in it. So if you buy the Legion Lost trade, you'll get 2 parts of the Culling crossover.
That's fucking stupid.
I think that's actually fine for people that just want those books in trade format.
Why won't it?
I think that's the best way to do it because
that's ballsy. I have to admit.
Well, it's a good way to do it because if people are reading Legion, you don't want to cut out those.
And this is Legion 1, Legion 2, Legion 3, Legion 4, Legion 5. Like they will keep these numbered in order and everything and color coded. And then if you want the full crossover, you go buy the crossover book.
See, I kind of preferred how they did the Omega effect in the like Punisher and Daredevil and that kind of stuff. Now, mind you, that wasn't that long a crossover. It was only like 1 issue of each or whatnot.
You know, they triple up.
They literally put that trade. Exactly. And the only reason I kind of prefer that method is just because, like, the culling is a perfect example of it. It was a true, like, doing that right now with the Death of the Family Batgirl stuff doesn't bother me whatsoever. The Batgirl stuff is sort of the Batgirl stuff. The Batman stuff is the Batman stuff. It's just part of this event. That doesn't bother me at all. But the culling was very much more of a part 1, part 2, part 3.
Nope, maybe he's wrong. I don't know. Yeah. But that's what they told me.
I'd find that really jarring if I was specifically reading the Legion Lost in trade format, didn't know anything about this crossover, and got to part 3 of something.
Yeah, well. All right, the Serial Kills. I think he's giving us a troll question here.
Troll question.
Which company's books are you enjoying more currently, Marvel or DC? what troll question is that, huh?
What does now mean? What do we say by now? How is that defined?
I think he just wants Mr. Feeney to come back to this podcast where we have to raise hands and yell over each other.
Right now, one word, Marvel or DC, Brock?
DC.
Omar.
DC.
Toby.
Neither. I think I said that before.
Charlie. Troll question is DC. The answer is DC. I'm saying DC. So.
Just say Marvel.
Of course.
To represent
Yeah,
Bryce.
just say Marvel. Yeah, Bryce is Marvel.
Don't do it. That Fantastic Four number 2 is FF number 1. Don't do it. Cable wasn't that great.
I'm totally tied right now because I'm going through my head. It's like
he's going to be like,
there's Hulk over here. There's.
Actually, hold on. Here's a question for you, Charlie. Mm-hmm. We'll do a more in-depth review of some of the Marvel Now books in a couple weeks when we get a few more number 1s. But what did you think of Cable and X-Force number 1?
I liked it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, I really didn't. But that's beside the point. I was curious if you liked the Cable representation in that. Okay.
I'm raising my hand, sir.
Yeah.
So the question I have for you is, because I think, did we talk about this before? Do you stack your books on what you want to read first?
Yes.
What's usually your top 4 books
on
a weekly
that's
basis?
The thing. I typically have 1 or 2 DC titles right now, and then a bunch of Marvel titles, and then back to DC right now, which is really weird.
You know what? But that's how the sales charts are. I think DC normally sells their top couple books are the highest. Marvel gets a big run in the middle, and then DC's low sellers are their lowest. And that seems pretty consistent, actually, with the sales in general.
And that's really unbalanced. And I was talking about this a little bit earlier. It's sort of like even the stuff that I'm really excited for, like Green Lantern, is kind of been in this kind of weird lull now.
I agree.
And I kind of felt the same way with Death of the Family. Is I was super excited after issue 13.
Yeah.
And then 14 came out with all the crossovers that month. And now 15 and all the crossovers. And it's just losing a lot of steam for me because I don't really feel like this event is gelling as well as I would like. So even the stuff that tended to get me really super excited on DC just isn't quite to the level it was 6 months ago.
All right. How about another question? Follow-up question to that?
Raise your hand.
So when I say DC or Marvel, when do you find you yourself mentally grabbing your zipper and putting it down and putting your hand in your pants?
I'm worried that Charlie is laughing at that one. That worries me more about anything.
The answer to your question is his hand comes out green.
So, Eugene on Twitter asks...
I got something to add, though, to that list.
In Metropolis.
No kidding.
No. To reading list though, I tend to have 1-2 that I'll read right away that are kind of my favorites. But then I do still kind of give the old school cover its chance. And when I finish my top tier, I kind of look at the covers, going, which one kind of deserves my attention. I mean, I kind of still like to give the cover guys its shot, going, impress me, motherfucker.
I was talking with us about this very same issue with Brock.
Impress me,
week.
motherfucker?
No, not impress me. Yeah, cover art. Like, fuck, man, that new Deathstroke. I looked at the fucking cover. It was like Scott Clark, or was that
It's a
right?
great cover.
Oh man, I looked at this shit. I was like, no way. Is he getting better? And I looked inside. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, that happens to my reading order too. I open it, I'm like, oh, okay, it goes at the bottom of the pile now. well, I give it a fair shake at the beginning, though.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the things that amuses me just in talking about the order you put your books in. Sometimes I'll literally open up a book, read a page, and then it goes to the bottom of the stack because I'm just not in the mindset to read that yet.
I read mine in I have my books I read, and I have my buy pile, but I always put my read books first.
Oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
those are the books that I really I don't necessarily care so much about them, but I save what I really, really want to read for last. Yeah. So it's like it's one of those things where stuff like I shifted stuff mid reading, like it was at the top, and I was like, no, I like this, so it's gonna. But next week it goes, or next month it goes a little bit further down. So it's constantly rotating. But it actually helps at least for me, to purge out stuff, to get stuff out of my system.
Yeah, get out of your system so you get the money shot, and you can relube.
If it's on the top and it keeps hitting that top mark, do I really need to get this book anymore?
Well, I've been a big fan of the Transformers comics from IDW, and I do a lot of my reading in the store here. And I don't know what happened, but about a year ago, maybe about 9 months ago, those books just really took a turn, and I found myself with like 5 or 6 issues of all of them, and I'm like, man, these are really hard to read. And I went, nope, done. When I hit that point, when I go back 2 or 3 times and I'm still on the same issue, nope, done.
Totally.
That's how you know it's over.
See, to me, that's like you know how many issues of the Doctor Who comic I've purchased from the shop here. I haven't even started the Matt Smith comics.
Oy.
I have them all.
Oh, I mean,
but I haven't even finished the David Tennant stuff fully.
Yeah.
So it's not that I lose interest, but I do start feeling really bad when I look at all the trades for all the stuff I have sitting on a stack at home.
Yeah. Here, maybe, Brock, you can answer this question. Question from Eugene. He asks, regarding the Third Army, Great Green Lantern crossover going on right now. I still don't get why the Guardians don't just turn off all the rings. Brock Sager gave me an answer the other day on Twitter, but I still don't get it. Worst supervillain plot ever.
Well,
you remember this?
Yeah. He asked why they didn't just shut off the Green Lantern rings. I'm like, because they can't shut off the other emotions. They don't have control over, love, rage, greed. They don't have any control over these other ones. So why would you shut off your Lantern Corps when you have all these other Lantern Corps, so you can easily be attacked? There's no defenses, so the Green Lantern Corps is basically like the front line, so to speak. So why would you get rid of your front line?
It would also send up the way I look at it is this: if you suddenly shut off all the rings, while yes, you would take away the Green Lantern threat to your Rise plan, the Rise of the Third Army is still being done very covertly, and if you shut off the rings, you're sending up a huge red flag to every single sector with a Green Lantern that something is very wrong.
That, and there's a whole bunch of dead bodies flying around in space.
Not to mention, then you also kind of go, well, why did the Guardians shut it off when this big new threat's they know exactly who? Because right now, they're just now realizing the Guardians are the ones that unleashed the Third Army. And even then, I think the only one who's figured that out is Atrocitus. Nobody else.
No, Atrocitus and what's his name? Salak. Salak's figured out what's going on.
Well, sort of. He went, oh no, look, it's the Guardians. And the Guardians went, haha, now you're our bitch.
Now you're trapped in a pill and you're going down below.
All right.
No, but I do agree that the Rise of the Third Army is definitely suffered over the 4 books where we have, we're introducing a brand new character in Green Lantern, and Hal and Sinestro are trapped in wherever they're trapped, and then in Red Lanterns, it's like, hey, this Third Army spreading around. Check it out. Why are you spreading? So it's not going very well. But like New Guardians is amazing because Kyle's figuring out how to use the different lantern colors,
which has very little to do with the Third Army.
Which has very little to do with the Third Army,
and that's why it's good.
And then
that's why it's readable.
Then you have the Green Lantern Corps, which is a book that just here's what Jon Stewart's doing, here's what Guy's doing, and here's what the Guardians are doing. So it's hard to. I mean, reading all 4 books, you kind of see everything that they want to tell you. But yeah, I can see why this particular one is kind of weak.
Well, to me, what it really, and I was talking about this, typically what happens in these Lantern events is the Green Lantern issues push the story forward in the actual like crossover events. The Lantern book with Hal is like the driving force. So yes, stuff happens in the other books with like war and everything else, but the big driving force is always the main Green Lantern book, where the whole focus there has been on building up Baz and his stuff. Like, I kind of feel like, you know what, if they were going to do this, they should have literally set aside, okay, we're going to slowly do the rise of the, like, not turn it into this big crossover event and have them pop up in different books here and there, but just do this story arc is all about building up Baz, so when the army fully reveals itself and is, like, actually an army and not individual pockets converting populations. I just think the problem is they started the crossover too early, and there's nothing really driving this crossover forward.
Yeah, I think
it definitely feels forced. I agree.
Well, no, it was when we all read the Green Lantern books, and we got to that Green Lantern annual, and we were just like, oh shit, this stuff's coming, and you're like, oh, this is awesome, and then it's kind of like, oh, but hey, this is Baz, he's the new Green Lantern. So you might want to here. Let me tell you a little story about him. I can see where
it's not pushing the story forward the way it should be.
I just think they need to put more bitches in the Guardians, and then things will be fine. Because a bunch of dudes running around just kind of reminds me of The Hobbit, and just
so
like that was a big problem.
Back with the Star Sapphires and
yes, yes.
All right, we got 2 more questions here. One is a 2-part question.
So it's 3 questions.
It's a 2-part question.
3.
One is by Peter Blanco, who asks, not a question, so that's why it's only 2 questions.
Oh, sorry.
But can I get a shout-out on the podcast? ?
Yes.
So that is a question.
Yes, you can.
So the answer is no, Peter Blanco. PX Bart on Twitter, you cannot get a shout-out on this podcast. I'm very sorry.
Not here. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Peter Blanco.
However, I will read his question that he asked. His second question, because his first question wasn't a question, even though not a question mark. It says, have any of you cool podcast hosts? So that rules out podcast host. But he said cool, so that rules out all of us.
Yeah.
Maybe Omar's okay. Omar's
no, Lane
cool.
is pretty fucking cool, man.
He's cool because he gave us Superman
you know what?
toys.
Our guests,
and he brought brownies.
Our guests are cool. We're not.
Yeah. Have any of you written in and or gotten published in a comic books letter page? I wrote one letter to Batman a long time ago, and I remember why. No, I don't write letter column pages.
DMZ 65.
Yeah, Brock has.
I wrote in to say how much I really enjoyed the series, and there was a shout out for the comic book store in the letter too. So I think it's Free States Rising was the story arc it was in.
Yeah, I'm just not a letter hack.
65? No, that's when it ended. It was 50. It was like 55, I think, was the issue. So I'll post it.
It wasn't really necessarily published, but I was a kid. I was a stupid kid. I was into Spider-Man because I didn't know it was good, or maybe it was good back then. I just haven't went back and read shit. But I did that Marvel tryouts, and I sent it in. I sent in my artwork because I thought it was the shit, and my mom supported me with it and everything, and sent it in.
Should have been the next Mark Bagley,
right? I could have been. And I actually got a letter back from one of Stan Lee's secretaries, and then he did give me a shout though. He's all, "Hey, we got this great piece of artwork that I have on my desk from Omar, this and that." Like, I was like, "Oh shit!" Nice. And I didn't think there was any other kid named Omar. Maybe another kid came from Omar. Maybe it wasn't me, but for me, I always thought I was only Omar because I was.
And you were special.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're still special.
I was brought up in this like just real.
You know what? You're good enough. You're smart enough. And doggone it, people like you.
Listen, buddy. I'll end it with that. I'll let you have your laugh.
Toby, you never write any letters, have you?
Well, since I didn't really actually speak real English till maybe mid-high school, no.
He would have a bunch of choppy letters.
It would have been a really weird letter that they just toss out. But
where's my Gambit? Where's more Gambit?
Yeah, where's my Gambit? It's a limited
Gambit
series. I don't know what that means. I just want more.
God, this kid wants so much fucking Gambit.
Yeah. But I did try out with an artist friend of mine multiple times for, like, say, the Wildstorm artist tryout, or maybe I didn't try out. Maybe it was just him. I just helped him. I was pushing people to try out stuff like that. Did a fan comic that passed out at Comic-Con on Casey Jones that I wrote and he drew, and multiple Wildstorm tryouts. Yeah,
That's cool. Charlie.
Nope.
All right, there you go. Yeah,
Hey,
I
but
don't know.
Marvel now wants you to write in and tell them what you think. So you should write in and tell them it sucks.
All right, last question here from Don.
Does it suck? by the way?
Ocularis.
Big balls.
And here we go. Brock can check out now. Speaking of checking out. Brock, I'm sorry, everyone else. Do you think there would be a full season of Green Lantern and Young Justice, or is Cartoon Network going to pull something again?
Oh, well.
Now, we got official date. January 5th.
Yes.
Green Lantern, Young Justice, Ben 10, and what is it? Clone Wars. I'll come back.
Ben 10's already showing new episodes.
Oh, are they already?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they put it in part of this. It's new kickoff Saturday morning lineup. Can I just read their intro for the Green Lantern episode?
Sure.
Green Lantern, the animated series, goes retro-futuristic when it starts the block with the episode Steam Lantern. After
Steampunk Lantern?
Oh my god, I can't wait! I can't wait!
Ryan is just like shitting his pants.
After being blasted by the Anti-Monitor, Hal finds himself in a steampunk world.
Woo-hoo! I will watch that episode.
Oh my god, that sounds hella good.
If you want to piss
You're such a
Ryan
hater.
off, like, come to the store and ask for steampunk comic books.
Steam Lantern.
What is that awesome book that came out by Ed Benitez like a few years ago? And they never finished it.
Mechanica.
Lady Mechanica, boy! Of course you know that shit, right?
That shit is hella dope.
That was so good.
Team Lantern. Young Justice Evasion answers lingering questions from the past seasons with Before the Dawn, when Blue Beetle, Miss Martian, and the team go on a covert mission to rescue some of their own, uncovering shocking secrets and devastating truths.
Now, Ryan, back to the important part that we need to talk about. What is your complete and utter dislike of steampunk?
Steaming pile of shit lantern.
Steaming.
No. Well, why do you not like the steampunk style?
I've mentioned this before, maybe in the Geek Box, I don't remember.
Too nerdy for him.
But I will give you my reasoning right now.
He's goth. He is not steam.
Steampunk is goths and brown, right? I mean, that's what it is. So my issue with steampunk comes from this. It's a perfectly fine literary subgenre. It's like, cyberpunk and all that stuff. Steampunk was kind of an offshoot from that. Totally fine with that. But sometime in the last decade or so, people decided to make a musical-based subgenre and like sort of a lifestyle fashion subgenre about steampunk. You go to anime cons, half the fucking booths there now sell steampunk stuff. It's dumb, okay? Like, if they try to mesh it in with Ren Fair, but it's like, oh, I'm Ren Fair, but I'm the crazy clockwork guy that works over in the corner of Ren Fair doing stuff in my goggles.
How did you ever play Final Fantasy games?
You know what? But then that's okay. I don't mind the literary subgenre of science fiction and fantasy that is steampunk. Like, I'm fine with that to a particular degree.
It's a video game.
But when it started to become...
You can't apply literary to a video game.
Sure, it's stories. But when they started doing music and people started dressing up like this, like in real life, no.
Bro, it's okay. You know what this is called right now?
It's terrible.
You're getting old, bro. Welcome to our club. You don't know what's cool anymore? Welcome to our club.
It's not cool. I know it's cool, okay? I still know it's cool. All right, this shit ain't cool.
So have there been any episodes thus far of Green Lantern you haven't enjoyed?
I mean, the pilot was not so good.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty shitty.
There was maybe like one or two that
All
were
I'm
kind
going
of...
to say is, have a little faith.
Oh, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it.
Let's just talk about what we saw, though. The video footage, which they gave us nothing new for Young Justice Invasion, a bunch of recuts. But to see the fucking Hal with the rings, and he had like multiple orange rings on, which was kind of wrong because there's only just one orange ring. But that was awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get excited?
Yeah.
January 5th, next week.
I'm always excited for Green Lantern.
Here's my thing. I'll be excited when it's done and they've shown every episode.
What?
I'll be excited when it's over and they've shown every episode because I'm not going to get excited until it's done. because you know they're just going to pull it. They're going to show 2 episodes. It'll go on hiatus for 6 weeks. They'll show another one.
Well, let's just hope they actually finish the
I don't
seasons.
think that's going to happen because Jeff and Diana are not going to let it happen.
And they better that.
What?
Just run the last of them, end it, get it out of my misery, and never have to see these again. Just finish it. Don't dick around. Just get it over with.
You know what's going to happen? The steampunk episode is going to be the best episode ever.
I hope it is.
It'll be like Community's first paintball episode.
I hope it is. I just, and then they'll launch Steampunk Green Lantern ongoing TV show, and I'll commit suicide. So that's all I'm gonna say. No, I really hope they just show them all straight in order, and then we're done. Oh, I hope they show them all.
DVDs.
I hope they show them all in order, and it picks up, and they continue to do more of them. Actually,
That'd be
honestly,
dope.
because I'd love for them to do more, but they're not. It's done.
Sadly, all
It's
the
over.
Young Justice people are over at Scooby Doo
Yeah,
now.
it's over. It's over. So just show them all.
Yeah, they're all working on Scooby now.
Oh, wow.
Show them all, and then kill it. It's done.
I don't know where Green Lantern people are, but
Don't
the Young
kill
Justice.
it. I just want a nice little Blu-ray set of both.
Yeah, sure. No, I want my DVDs and everything. I want my full season.
I want
sets.
Young Justice to keep going on and on and on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, screw all the DC Direct movies. I want all Young Justice from now on, please.
I would not mind that.
Thank you.
They're done.
They could do themed ones, like tier Young Justice, like Blu-rays, like one like a Batman one, which Nightwing and Robin and Batgirl, and then they could do like a Aquaman one.
It'd be like families, right? And they
yeah,
all
you
look
could
the
do the
same on
family
shelf.
tier ones, dude. I'd be buying them all, like the Wonder Woman and Wonder Girl. Fuck yeah! Then you could do like a girls' night, like Wonder Girl and Batgirl. Fuck yeah! And then yeah,
Oh,
well, I'll
no.
stop.
I mean, DC Nation just seemed like so dope, and like, how can they fuck it up? There's obviously some reasons that.
well, they're bringing the new Justice League, the new Batman cartoon in to replace Young Justice and
Maybe.
and what's the other one? Young Justice and
Green Lantern?
yeah.
Maybe. If Cartoon Network. Why aren't these just on one, like Cartoon or
They
CW?
should get out. Yeah,
Do it on CW where you control everything and just put them out and never stop and make them awesome.
I just
Forget
love the
Cartoon
fact that they went to Cartoon Network because they were unhappy with CW. Now everybody's like, go back to CW.
It's their own company. How can they be unhappy with it? If you don't like it, fix it. It's your own company.
half.
What's the other half? UPN?
Yeah, UPN.
But UPN's not even a thing anymore,
Isn't it
is
Paramount though?
Oh, is it Paramount?
I don't know whatever the tier was. But, yeah,
Well, then make your own Cartoon Network. No, but just don't call it Cartoon Network.
I wouldn't mind for the WB to come back. I actually really liked it. The WB channel and the
Just
WB
launch a DC
cartoon.
channel.
Sure,
Just show all the old DC stuff. Have their block a new
You
got-
can watch The Flash. It's Saturday morning.
Right, it's
Yeah.
like DC's
with the dude
hub,
from Dawson's
right?
Creek as The Flash.
DC's hub.
Wait,
Yeah,
was it?
DC.
Yeah,
like,
it
the
was.
hub.
The hub, I know.
But the hub is like not even in HD, right?
The hub
They
is
just now-
the hub is
It is now?
Hasbro
Yep.
though.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Right, just do a DC, do a Warner Brothers The Hub, and just show like all your old movies and cartoon series and animated series and
live action.
live
I mean,
action.
They could go.
To show the old Superboy stuff.
Hell yeah!
Oh,
Hey,
side
you can-
note question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
I was going to say between like the old Superboy, you have
put
Lois
a
and Clark, you have the Flash, you
Let's
have
do a
Smallville.
Superboy and
yeah.
Smallville like hour or double hour
Yeah.
to compare the two to each other.
So I know we're talking about cartoons, so it makes me think of toys. Dude, how stoked were you to see the lead and the fucking platinum and tin?
They're
Those
pretty cool. I got them.
Those pieces are sick. Yeah.
Yeah, the lead's awesome. When I got it, the thing said like
Metal Man, by the way.
oversized lead figure, and I'm like, why the hell are they doing a lead? Like I thought they meant like lead, like
Yeah.
lead. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
figure was made out of lead.
Like you shouldn't lick it.
Right, and I opened it up and I'm like, oh, it's the character
Yeah,
lead.
yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense now. It's pretty cool. Tina's cool, and the little what's his face is cool. Tin's cool.
Yeah, Tin.
So
Tin weighs nothing.
yeah, it's a super.
I don't suggest licking that lead either.
I won't. He's big. He's huge.
Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah. I almost just forget the store ones. They all are bad. Just do these from now on.
I don't know. The
because-
Red Robin one's sick.
Well,
I ended up like
yeah.
getting it. I think I told you guys when I was in Hawaii because no one buys toys in Hawaii because they're too cool. I'm like, yeah, I got my Red Robin. That
Yeah.
Red Robin's awesome.
Yeah, I like
you
the
dance?
Maddie.
I didn't. Well, in my head maybe.
Okay.
Do the Robin dance.
Do a little shaky shake.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up now.
Really? We're done already?
It's 8.
Hour and 5 minutes.
Holy shit!
Oh, did you want to? Me and Toby are going to be talking about The Hobbit tomorrow night on the Geek Box.
You guys should talk about it.
So, do you want to talk about? You want to talk some Hobbit?
No, it's fine. I already
Are you
threw. I threw a little Hobbit in there. But what I do got to say is, I hopefully, PJ, Peter Jack, whatever your
He's
nickname
listening.
is.
He's listening. He's a
Okay,
fan.
listen. Next time, I hope in your extended cut, when you give us a 6-hour DVD of The Hobbit, I hope there's an extended scene in Riverdale or the Elf World. Because that little Gryffindor, because is that
Gryffindor?
right?
That's Harry Potter, isn't it?
Right, Riverdale,
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
Jesus Christ.
Riverdale, Gryffindor. Okay, see,
Peter Jackson, I want them to play a game of Quidditch, please. Especially the golem on a broomstick would be a lot of fun.
The girls with the harp, the girls with the harps. Like that scene could have gone so much farther. In my mind, it did. Let's just go there. Let's go there. Why not?
That's when the theater was super silent, and the zipper just went down. Zip.
Yeah, the Pee-wee moment.
All right. We're going to go and wrap up.
Oh no, there's no time to lose.
That is correct, Superman. There is no time to lose. We're getting ready to wrap up here. So thanks for everyone for listening. Not 100% sure what our recording schedule is going to be for the next 2 weeks. Schedule.
It's a schedule.
So we will...
chocolate.
I hope we will have normal episodes on Monday night, but we may not if they're not on or it's delayed or we skip a week. It's holiday crap. Our normal recording hours.
Thanks again for laying for our holiday gift.
Oh, hell yeah.
God, it's so fucking awesome. We got Green Lantern, actually.
Well, our normal recording hours would be either Monday nights, Christmas Eve, or New Year's Eve. So what? I don't get it.
You're a buzzkill.
Oh, I can't help it. So if you don't hear this awesome podcast for a week or two, or they're on weird hours, you know why. Okay, there we go. All right, so if you like this episode, you want to hear all our other episodes, you can go to comicsconspiracy.biz. You can go to geekbox.net. They're all on there. You can go on iTunes, search for Comic Conspiracy. We're on there. Do my head jam when I talk my stuff.
Hey, Ryan.
Yo.
If people would send an alcohol, you would have a duty to drink it, right? Even if it's just a sip.
I'm not on the comedy button, so that's not how it works.
No. So that means the more people send an alcohol, you have to taste it all, right?
I don't...
For New Year's?
No, I don't do good with alcohol. I'm bad with alcohol.
Just a sip out of each one.
That's not going to end well. So don't...
That's the point.
So go download the episodes. They're fun. They're great. They're awesome. Give us some more hits. I see every download, so give us some more. Go on iTunes, rate us. I haven't read our ratings for a very long time because we don't get too many.
That's because we suck.
So go give us some ratings on there. I'll read a few of them. Maybe in January I read some we got from the last few months. Forums at geekbox.net. You can go talk to us on there about all our awesome
nobody talks.
episodes. Yeah, sure. Sometimes they just yell at us, but yeah, people talk on there.
You guys suck.
We're all on Twitter. Ryan Higgins, Ryan, Brock Sager, Comics and Decline. That is Omar. Toby XI is Toby. And Insanity in Chaos is Charlie. Bryce is Larson Bryce. This is backwards. So he's on there. Go talk to him. ConspiratorBrock.com.
He's pretty funny on Twitter.
Yeah, he is. He loves the hashtags.
Yeah, he does.
Almost as much as Omar.
I don't think he gets Brock Hater doesn't work.
I think it does.
No, it doesn't.
I've used it all the time.
Maybe he should reverse it. Hater Brock.
Yeah, that would probably be better.
That sounds better. Maybe he just has things reversed in Twitter world.
He's dyslexic.
He's bizarro in Twitter world.
Comics and Decline. That's Omar's website.
That's why he never gets Omar, because he goes Decline and Comics when he's trying to talk to Omar.
Don't forget to listen to other episodes. The Geek Box, which Toby will be on next tomorrow night, so it'll be up tomorrow, Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. And we're gonna talk about The Hobbit on there with Ryan Scott and whoever else is on there. The Comedy Button and Good Job Brain, as well as All Talk.
Didn't Good Job Brain win an award?
It won a Stitcher Award for Best Album Art.
Oh, nice.
Which is a fun award. So it's a fun little podcast. And don't forget the All Talk podcast. It's our community forums podcast. If you want to be on there, you can go on the forums and bug the people that run the All Talk podcast. They're pretty cool. You're pointing at an empty chair and an empty mic where Charlie was.
I am
the Infinite Long Box.
Oh, my Infinite Long Box podcast. You could
the mic's off.
Toby, the mic is off. You can
It's not working. Now I am Charlie, and you could go listen to my podcast at the Infinite Long Box.
Yes, Charlie.
Lipsing.limp-something.com. My Twitter name is Insanity and Chaos.
Charlie had to check out really fast here, but yes.
No, I am still here.
Don't forget the Infinite Long Box podcast.
I am big and like big books.
There's trouble downtown.
Yes, Superman, there's trouble downtown. just trouble downtown, and we're going to stop this episode. So if we don't talk to you beforehand, have a good Christmas. If you celebrate that, have a good New Year. Do whatever you do. World's ending on Friday, so it doesn't matter. Yada, yada, yada. Insert 2012 jokes here, and we are out.
Oh, no. Lex Luthor is behind